Today I listened to another great historic performance podcast. Again, please check it out. It's good stuff, especially for the strength and conditioning side. So this one was with Dr. Mike Young, who's worked with the Vancouver Whitecaps and runs his own gym in North Carolina. And one of the things that he was talking about as he went through his, through the podcast, is that tools such as agility ladder or the parachute, stuff like that, that coaches use for speed are really overused and in a lot of cases unnecessary. And also one thing that he mentioned was that a lot of coaches will use these tools to hide their lack of coaching skill or their inability to really diagnose a technical flaw in running mechanics, or the ability to really, help a player or help an athlete to improve their running technique. Going to basketball, I see the same thing a lot. A lot of trainers rely on gimmicks, if you will, whether it's agility ladders or the same type of parachutes or the bungee cords or, these types of things. And in a lot of ways, I think it's used to mask an inability to really coach or really to improve that athlete. So we take the mentality that if we do it harder, harder, more, the player will improve. And to a certain degree, a player probably will improve in certain aspects. And depending on the level of the players, some players will probably improve more than others. But the gimmicks aren't the way to truly develop the skill. And oftentimes, again, it's used to hide a lack of coaching skill or a lack of, ability to really diagnose an error and make changes and create an environment or constraints that can enable the player to improve that skill. And also, I think in basketball training, these things are used for marketing purposes. So does a player need, a trainer to go out and shoot on his or her own? No, but the player probably does need a trainer if the player wants to work with, a bungee cord or, agility ladder or something like that, something that players, usually don't own on their own. So I think it has two roles in basketball. I think one, it does mask a lack of coaching skill, lack of real ability to diagnose the error and create true constraints that can improve the player's skill. And then I also think it's just used from a marketing standpoint to make the training look cool and look like something that a player needs to participate in, whereas it really has a small to no value in terms of actually developing that skill.